TBR Skeleton Key here, and it is time to do, well, it's past time, actually, to do my March TBR. One thing I've noticed is that in the early months of the year, I don't have to do nearly as much rolling because the TBR just kind of builds itself, and it's already right now it's already at an entire page. But now I'm at the audiobook sync downloads. And I had been really prioritizing them and just figuring they'll just be mood reads because I need to read so many of them. A little bit of the urgency has died down. I do still want to read them pretty quickly because they do take up a lot of room on my phone or tablet. I currently have about a summer and a half's worth of downloads on my phone, and then I have almost an entire summer's worth of downloads on my tablet, and my tablet is full. It's an old tablet and did not have a whole lot of storage, I discovered. The summer of 2019, I downloaded them onto my Overdrive app on my phone, and I can't move them off of my phone. They're set up as, technically they're borrows for 99 years or something like that. And I can't move those files. They are where they are until I delete them. So the only thing I can do is listen to them and delete them. And I'll need to make more room or find another device or something for this summer's downloads. There are 2 a week, and I currently have, I think, 12 titles left from the 2019 downloads. They're on the Overdrive app. Overdrive is basically sunsetting that app and focusing on their Libby app, which you're probably familiar with. And so I was worried that then I would lose those files even if I didn't delete them, or at least lose a way to access them. I've downloaded them to my phone. They're in the Overdrive app on my phone. So unless something happens to, there's some sort of glitch or instability or something that corrupts a file, I'm fine. They'll just be there. But the sooner I listen to them and delete them off my phone, then the sooner I can just delete the whole app, Overdrive app, off my phone, and that will free up some space. Long story short, I'm trying to focus on those 12 titles and trying to read them. I'm just not in panic mode or anything anymore. Okay, so yes, I do have 12 titles left from the 2019 downloads, and those are Shadow of the Fox, You, that one's by Charles Benoit, not Caroline Kepnes, I think. So this is a YA story. A Night Divided, Wild Bird, A Girl Like That, Olivia Twist, Yaqui Delgado Wants to Kick Your Ass, Heretics Anonymous, Vincent and Theo, the Van Gogh Brothers, The Go-Between, Kids of Appetite, and All the Crooked Saints. So there are 12 titles. I have 4 D12s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll these D12s and then just go down the list like I read it to you, in the order that I read it to you. And then then I'll just pick those 4 books. I've set myself a goal of listening to 4 of these books this month. Okay, 4 D12s. Oh dear. Okay, so there is a 3, and that is a 4. Where'd that one go? There it is. That is a 1, and that is a 12. So there you go. And yeah, I'm still putting together my physical TBR. This is in no particular order, really, but just to kind of give you a little peek at what I'm looking at so far. Okay, so I think I'm at a point that I can go ahead and do my read your shelf roll. And yeah, just as a reminder, my January and February read your shelf picks, I still haven't read them. Right now I couldn't, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you what they are. But let's do this roll anyway, and we'll see what book I'm going to assign myself and not read this month. So this is my wall of shame. There's shelf 1. Here's shelf 2. Here's shelf 3. Here's shelf 4. Do you have motion sickness yet? And here's shelf 5. There are 5 shelves. I'm going to roll a d6. If I roll a 6, I roll again. That is shelf 1. So this is shelf 1. These are books that I have set aside and said, yeah, I'll try that again later. And you can't even see the stuff back behind because it's double stacked. So it's uneven, but okay. So, and for bind ups and omnibus editions and things like that, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. But for now, let's go with a D12. Evens, the back. Odds, the double stack. Evens, the back. Oh dear. Oh dear, I have not even counted these yet. Let me do that. Okay, so here they all are. There's 37. So I'm not going to count this little thing right here. So that makes it 36, which is divisible by 6. So which section of 6 shall I do? Section 4. That would be these 6 books that I have pulled out to the front. There's number 1, which is He Dead? By Mark Twain and adapted by David Ives. I've read parts of this over and over. Yeah, I'll explain later. And now we'll roll some dice for my next turn in Becca's Bookoplathon. So my first turn this year, playing last September's Becca's Bookoplathon board, I rolled doubles. And so the first square I landed on was play a TBR game. I had a few different possibilities, and I ended up going with a flip a coin selection, and I ended up reading Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And I'm still in the octafinals round of judging for that, so I can't talk about it yet. So I won't say anything. Then I landed on Community Shelf, and I drew a NetGalley arc. And just yesterday, I finished listening to, I was reading along to the NetGalley arc, and since the audiobook was out and it was free on Hoopla, I went ahead and listened to it while I was reading it, and that was Her Last Flight by Beatrice Williams. That was excellent. I still need to, I just finished that yesterday. I still need to do a little bit of thinking about how the timeline worked out and everything. But yeah, I was really impressed with that. That was, I thought, really well done. And I'll talk about that more in a wrap-up video. Right now, let's do another roll. Take another turn for Bookoplathon. And so there is Patience the Cat on Community Shelf, and I have tucked the Community Shelf card back in there because I'll reuse that. All right. 6. Opulent. Hey, editing Stina here. I totally forgot that, I rolled and landed on the Opulent square in Becca's Bookoplathon. And so that's something, a book with an opulent feel to it, an opulent vibe. And this has an opulent cover as well, A Master of Gin by P.J. Clark. So that is also on my March TBR. And some of you may recall that last year I started doing the Random Penguins literary horoscope thing, and I got kind of stuck. It wasn't going that great, but now 2 of the books, the next 2 books I was going to read for that, they made the long list for the BookTube Prize. And I am a judge for the BookTube Prize in this first octafinals round that is going on last month and this month. And I was not assigned either of those books, but I have also made myself available to judge the next round. So I don't know yet if those books have made it through to the next round, but I'm not comfortable reviewing them for other videos, just in case I end up having to read and rank them for BookTube Prize. But Libro FM put out an audiobook horoscope thing, and they have 3 books listed for each sign. And so I'm a Cancer, and so my 3 books are Kyle Lucia Wu's Win Me Something, Heather Crystal's The Crying Book, and The Unpassing by Chia Chia Lin. And I will go into more detail on those individually. But for my March TBR, I went with The Crying Book. And I got that on audiobook through Hoopla. It's about 4 hours, so I'm going to try to crank through that here before the end of the month. And we'll see how that goes. See if Libro FM's is better than the Random Penguins. So this is kind of sort of what my March TBR looks like, physically anyway, less some of the books that have already gone back to the library. I've also lost a lot of files, and at this point I can't remember what I've already talked about. So that's just gonna have to kind of do for, oh my god. This has been a rough day, y'all. It's, well, not rough, just busy. And so my hair looks kind of bad. Hang on. I'm not sure that's exactly better, but anyway, at least it's not. But anyway, so that gives you an idea what I'm reading. Also, the books that I still have to read for the BookTube Prize judging. I'm not sure what's going on upstairs. Anyway. But I will let you know that this is my pick this month for ugliest cover on my TBR. So, sadly, I don't think I'm actually going to get to this month because I really need to focus on BookTube Prize and a couple other things like Middle Grade March. And I don't think these count as middle grade. I'm not sure what audience these were intended for, but I think middle grade would be a stretch for these. So anyway, I will get back to my March reading. And in the meantime, please like, subscribe, and see you around.